From Jackie Robinson Field, it's time for Conejo Oaks baseball as the Oaks take on the Arroyo Seco Saints on the road for the final time this season, looking to get their third road win over the Saints in 2026. Alongside Sammy Fawn, I'm Calvin Kaplan. Glad to be joining you this afternoon for an Oaks radio broadcast. And Sammy, it is a good day for the Oaks to bounce back after a 6-4 loss to the Barons last night. They made a late inning push, but just couldn't quite finish it.
Yeah, it was a game where the Oaks allowed all 6 of the Barons' runs in the 7th inning. Caden Ceramic certainly had his fair share of struggles. All 6 runs were charged to him, and they've got a lot to look out for with the Saints. They're coming off a 14-0 shutout win against the San Diego Bombers from last night, and the Saints saw the home run ball from Sean Asperger as well. So a lot of great baseball to look forward to today, and a competitive game all in all.
It's going to be a fun game to watch. The Oaks overall are 3-2 against the Saints this season. Last time these two teams faced off, the Oaks did lose on the road against them on July 16th. To take you through the lineups, let's start with the Oaks. Left fielder Brandon Contreras leads off. He's followed by the shortstop Zach Nagy and the DH Tyson Reese. First baseman Danny Aguilera is cleanup. Then it's the third baseman Matthew Whitko, catcher Aiden Voiles, right fielder Tyler Antwine, center fielder James Latshaw, and the second baseman Matthew Ramirez, batting ninth and making his first start of the season for the Oaks. In the outfield for the Saints from left to right, Carson Panarisi, Brody Cheer, and Evan Reiter. Sean Asperger, Braden Flores, Dylan Immel, and Owen Mangini from left to right in the infield. Cam Andrews is behind the plate, and warming up for the Saints, the same starter against the Oaks last Sunday, it's Thomas Peck.
Peck has had a pretty good season overall. In his last outing against the Conejo Oaks back on July 12th, we saw it was a game where he went 5 innings, allowed just 1 run on 5 hits. He struck out 2 Oaks, and he looks to top that performance today with another good outing.
Brandon Contreras steps up. The Oaks are 3-2 against the Saints overall this season. The Saints won 14-0 against the Bombers yesterday, while the Oaks lost 6-4 to the Barons, despite scoring 2 runs in the top of the 9th. Brandon Contreras jumps in, and we're ready to get underway. Sunny skies here in Pasadena. The Saints wearing the white uniforms with the pinstripes, Oaks in powder blue with the gray pants. The wind in the pitch from Peck. It's a fastball just low for ball 1 at 4:14 p.m. A bit of a delayed start here in Pasadena, and we are off and underway. The skies are all blue, and it's 89 degrees and sunny. We'll sink to around 80 degrees by the time the game is expected to end. 1-0 count. The next pitch. Swung on and hacked far into right field down the line. This one's got a lot of distance, but it's foul. Might have been home run distance had it stayed fair.
Yeah, Contreras really got a hold of that one. It certainly looked like the home run launch angle as he crushed that ball, really. It was certainly high enough, and it twisted foul.
The 1-1 between Peck and Contreras. Peck winds and delivers, swinging a high drive into right center field, being chased by Reiter and Cheer. Reiter makes the catch on the warning track. Boy, well hit again from Brandon Contreras, but he falls just short of the wall.
Yeah, Contreras almost one-upped that foul ball that he hit. I mean, he launched that one to the track. It fell a little bit short, and Reiter was able to make the catch right along the track. Didn't have to leap or dive for it. It's routine in the end.
Now the righty Zach Nagy steps in. Nagy's coming off an 0-for-2 day with 2 walks against the Barons. First pitch taken just outside on a fastball for ball 1. Against Peck, who last time facing the Oaks a week ago from today in his last start, pitched 5 innings, allowed 5 hits, 1 run, and struck out 2. The 1-0. Swinging a fly ball into moderate center field. Being jogged at by Cheer, who has the easy play. He makes the catch for the second out.
That one was hit sky high, and Cheer was able to take several steps into shallow center field and make the routine play.
Decent start for the Saints, and now it's Tyson Reese coming up. In that game a week ago from today, the Oaks ended up winning 8-4. They went behind 4-0, but a grand slam from Matthew Whitko in the 8th gave them a 5-4 lead. Tyson Reese added insurance in the 9th with a 3-run homer. Reese is up at the plate now. The pitch taken low for ball 1.
Yeah, Tyson Reese's home run last week at this ballpark, right down the right field line. Can't see it on the radio broadcast, but it was like right in between the big light pole and the foul pole.
Next pitch, fastball low to Reese. Taken for a ball, 2 balls and no strikes. Peck this season overall has an 8.59 ERA in 3 appearances. He's thrown 7 1/3 innings, struck out 5, and walked 5. He kicks, throws the 2-0. It's low on a fastball. Quick 3-0 to Tyson Reese.
Tyson Reese had an RBI single in last night's game against the Barons when he drove home Contreras in the 5th.
He'll try to be the first base runner for the Oaks today. The kick in the 3-0. Fastball on the outer edge for a strike. At the knees, a 3-1 count to Tyson Reese.
Hitters count right here. Peck has got to be very careful. The last thing he wants to do is hang one, but he's definitely got to stay in the zone here.
3-1 on the way. Taken just high for ball 4. So Peck doesn't hang one, but Tyson Reese gets a walk. He had 3 of those yesterday, and he is the first base runner of the day for either team.
And we'll see if the Oaks make anything of that spark with Danny Aguilera at the plate.
Aguilera's on a 2-game hitting streak. He's reached base multiple times in his past 6. Coming off a 1-for-4 day with a walk against the Barons yesterday. He's 14 for 43 overall on the season. Reese has a small lead over at first. Peck, the right-hander, delivers. Swinging a chopper left side into the Saints dugout. It flies and bounces off the back fence. 0-1.
Aguilera played shortstop yesterday against the Barons, the first time we've seen him in that position.
He's back at first base today. He's also played a lot of third. The 0-1, taken just outside on an off-speed pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike to Aguilera.
That one just missed off the corner there. A good take from Danny.
He's ready to go. Peck stares in, looks at first, and comes to the belt. 1-1 count with 2 outs, outfield straight away and moderately deep. The pitch, taken inside on a fastball. It's 2-1.
Some good pop from the heat from Thomas Peck. He's able to keep hitters on their toes.
The Oaks have faced some tough starting performances from the Saints in games as of late. 2-1, taken up high for ball 3 on a fastball. We saw in these two teams' last matchup, Joe O'Regan go 6 scoreless innings. He got the win, and the Saints won that one 4-0, their first time beating the Oaks at home this season. 2-1 against them at home, the Oaks are against the Saints, and 1-1 on the road. The 3-1 at the knees down the middle for strike 2 on a fastball.
And that's just got to be a very satisfying performance when you can pitch 6 innings and get the win and shut the other team out. I bet you can be certain that he's going to be the Saints candidate for pitcher of the week.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Reese over at first. Peck kicks and delivers. Swinging a pop-up foul over the fence right side. It's out of play. So the 7th pitch of the at-bat coming up to Danny Aguilera, with Matthew Whitko, the third baseman, on deck. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Reese edges towards second, still a small lead over at first. He's being covered by Mangini. The payoff pitch, runner goes. High and inside, back-to-back walks from Thomas Peck.
Well, Peck retires the first 2 batters, but these last 2 have made Peck work. And with Reese, it was a walk on 5 pitches with a 3-1 count, and Aguilera able to foul off some pitches and keep this inning alive.
Now Matthew Whitko comes to the plate. He had his 10-game on-base streak, snapped against the Saints back on the 16th in the 4-0 loss. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. Here's the first pitch. Fastball just inside on Whitko for ball 1.
Whitko did hit a grand slam against the Saints last Sunday here at Jackie Robinson Field, and it was not Peck who gave it up, but he got a dugout view seat of that grand slam into straightaway center field.
Whitko's first home run of his collegiate career, the 1-0. Swung on and missed. High and away, and Whitko chases. And now the count's even. Reese is at second, Aguilera is at first. Top of the first, no score between the Oaks and the Saints. 1-1 count with 2 outs. Whitko's at the plate against Peck. The pitch. Swung on, hacked third base side, about a foot foul. Past the line into the outfield.
Whew, very close there. Tough to tell when it first leaves the bat how far to the left it's going to twist. And the Saints catch a break for the time being.
1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs and 2 on. No wind here in Pasadena and no clouds either. Great views of green trees in the background and mountains as well. Pause in the 1-2. Swing and a drive over to second. One hop into the glove of Immel, who throws to first and gets Mangini to get the out. So the Oaks walk twice, but they strand 2 runners. No hits allowed by the Saints. We go to the bottom of the first. No score. You're listening to Oaks Baseball on YouTube. Stay tuned. Bottom of the first here at Jackie Robinson Field in Pasadena, California. The Oaks and the Saints are tied at 0, and the Oaks are taking the field. For the Saints in the batting order, it begins with the shortstop, Braden Flores. He's followed by the right fielder, Evan Reiter, and the third baseman, Sean Asperger. Left fielder, Carson Panarisi, is cleaning up. He's followed by the DH, Cannon King, catcher, Cam Andrews, second baseman, Dylan Immel, and the first baseman, Owen Mangini. Center fielder, Brody Cheer, bats ninth. In the field for the Oaks, Brandon Contreras, James Latshaw, and Tyler Antwine from left to right in the outfield. Matthew Whitco, Zach Nagy, Matthew Ramirez, and Danny Aguilera from left to right in the infield. Aiden Voiles is behind the plate, and back on the mound for the Oaks is Johnny Lavelis.
Lavelis pitched 4 innings right here last week at Jackie Robinson Field. In the first inning, allowed a 2-run shot to Zach Late, who and looks to just settle in and get off to a great start here.
Lavelis has been one of the best starters for the Oaks this season, making his 7th appearance. He's got a 3.12 ERA in the summer season, had a 5.40 ERA at Ventura College in 2026. He's currently undecided about where to go next. Got a fastball, slider, curveball, changeup arsenal, and he gets the speedy Braden Flores first. Flores is batting .315 on the season, and he's got 7 stolen bases, also an ability to really beat out infield singles.
Flores just such a standard and really great and high-level leadoff hitter for the Saints.
First pitch to him, fastball swung on and popped up left side, and out of play, headed toward the bleachers.
We saw him get going right away with that leadoff knock. I believe he also went 2 for 2 last Thursday against the Oaks to start.
1 for 6 yesterday against the Bombers. Here's the next pitch. Swung on, chopped weakly first base side, rolling just foul. Jogged after by Aguilera, who doesn't have to make an effort at it with it rolling foul. No balls and 2 strikes, and when we talked to Saints head coach Aaron Milam about Braden Flores, he had nothing but praise for how Flores hits the ball, but also how much of a likable guy he is in the clubhouse, in the dugout, and as a team member. The 0-2. Swung on, hit hard to second. Charged in on by Ramirez. 2 hops. He throws to Aguilera and gets the out. 1 down in the bottom of the first.
Matthew Ramirez getting his first start for the Oaks this summer. He came in as a pinch hitter for Contreras last night, and he gets the first defensive action in the field.
Now Evan Reiter comes up, getting his first action at the plate. Reiter's batting an electric .347 on the season in the midst of a 5-game hitting streak. First pitch, fastball just up high for ball 1 against Reiter, who's playing now in his 24th game of the season.
It's been a fairly consistent guy for the Saints.
Next pitch, taken low. Pardon me, Reiter's hitting streak actually extends almost all the way back to the beginning of this season. 22 games in all. He only did not have a hit against the Waves on June 5th. The pitch, hammered into center field, chased after by Latshaw, who's running out of space but makes a running catch as he nears the wall for the second out.
Good play there by Latshaw. He covered quite a bit of ground out there in left center field. Headed towards the warning track. Now here's a guy who Lavelis has to be somewhat careful going up against. You cannot afford to hang one against Asperger, who launched a 3-run home run last night against the Bombers.
Asperger has 3 home runs on the season, and he's got a 7-game hitting streak going. First pitch to him. taken on an off speed for a strike on the outside corner. 0-1 count.
He's certainly been a threat against the Oaks all season.
Went 1 for 3 against them on July 12th. The pitch, taken just outside on a fastball. 1-1 count with 2 outs in the inning. He also went 1 for 3 against them on the 16th. Levelis looks in, shakes off the sign. Now winds and delivers. Swing and a miss. Another off-speed pitch. Asperger swings a little bit early, and that's strike 2.
Levelis 1 strike away from sending the Saints down 1-2-3, and that would certainly be a strong start for him.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, no hits for either side yet. Outfield playing straight away. Here's the pitch. Swinging a drive over to short. Quick 2 hops to Nagy. He picks it up on a backhand, throws to Aguilera. It pulls him off the bag, but he steps back on for the 3rd out. So a 1-2-3 inning for Johnny Levelis. Ground out, fly out, ground out. No runs, no hits, nobody left aboard. We'll go to the 2nd, no score. You're listening to Oaks Baseball on YouTube. It's the top of the 2nd at Jackie Robinson Field. No score between the Oaks and the Saints. In the top of the 1st, the Oaks had 2 walks, 1 from Tyson Reese and 1 from Danny Aguilera, but they did not get any hits off Thomas Peck, and their efforts will begin in the 2nd with the catcher, Aiden Voiles.
Oaks certainly starting off with a great hitter in Voiles, someone who is able to, we've seen tear the cover off that ball, not go deep, but certainly a great source of contact at the plate, and, you know, a guy that's not particularly tall, but he hits big.
Standing at just 5'8", with a .273 average on the season. The first pitch, chopped to 2nd. 3 hops picked up by the first baseman Mangini, who tosses to his pitcher. Peck steps on the bag for the 1st out.
Quick 1 pitch, 1 out. Peck able to work efficiently, and a good play by Mangini to remain steady with the underhand toss.
So Voiles will still have to look to extend what is a 4-game hitting streak. Tyler Antwine is now coming up. Antwine playing in right field today on a 2-game hitting streak of his own. Last night went 1 for 4 against the Barons with an RBI, but struck out twice. Peck with a long look in. He gets ready. Into the windup in the first pitch. Tails inside, gets away from Anders, the catcher. 1 ball and no strikes.
Antwine had one of the 4, he drove home one of the 4 runs last night for the Oaks.
The Oaks scored 2 in the 9th, but fell short 6-4. Pitch is a slider, called strike at the corner, at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike to Antwine.
Has 1 home run on the season that came against the San Diego Bombers.
A ball and a strike. Peck comes home. Slider low and away this time. 2 balls and a strike to Antwine. Antwine has been on base for the most part recently, really doing a good job of getting to first. He chops 1 foul to the left. The count is 2-2. And his on-base streak is not a streak, but he's been on in 10 of the last 11, or 11 of the last 12, pardon me. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out to Antwine. The kick and the pitch. Swing and a miss on a fastball at the belt. That's the first strikeout of the day for Peck.
Peck able to blow that fastball right by Antwine, and Antwine a tad late on it.
So Peck is looking just like his dominant self from last week when he had 5 innings of 1-run ball against the Oaks a week ago from today. And now James Latshaw comes up playing in center field, which is the typical spot for Owen Mealy. Latshaw's been a two-way player for this team, batting 148 on the season. Here's the pitch, taken just outside on a fastball for ball 1.
James Latshaw, two-way player for the Oaks. He was the winning pitcher last Friday.
1-0, the pitch. Called strike at the knees on the outside corner. Count even to Latshaw.
He was also a tremendous pitcher in the 9-9 tie against the Santa Barbara Foresters. He allowed just 1 run, and that was in the 9th to tie the game.
The 1-1, swing and a miss on a pitch up and in. Yeah, Latshaw allowed a run in the 9th, but got the strikeout with 2 runners on to ensure that the game would stay tied, and that was the final time the Oaks played the Foresters this year. Right now, the Saints are in a bit of trouble looking to get back into a wild card spot, 3.5 games back. 1-2 with 2 outs. Peck's pitch. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Latshaw gets frozen, and that's back-to-back strikeouts for Thomas Peck to end the second inning. We'll go to the bottom of the inning. Still no score between the Oaks and the Saints. Bottom of the second, no score between the Oaks and the Saints. Johnny Lavelis pitched a 1-2-3 bottom of the first, and he's back out there for the second inning, getting 4, 5, 6 in the Saints order, beginning with the left fielder Carson Panarisi. It was a good, efficient first inning for Lavelis, who allowed 4 runs in 4 innings a week ago from today against the same Saints squad on the road.
Yeah, Lavelis was able to set the Saints down 1-2-3 with a couple of groundouts and a flyout. Seems like his command has been on point overall. The Saints have been able to put the ball in play, but the Oaks defense has been fortunate enough to be in the right spot at the right time and been able to work well.
This inning will start with Carson Panarisi, who's batting .253 on the season. Panarisi went 2 for 5 in the Saints' 14-0 win over the San Diego Bombers yesterday. Saints at 13-17 this season, 3.5 games back of the 18-11-1 Oaks. Waits, now kicks and delivers. First pitch off speed, line to short and caught on a slide by Nagy. Great play for the first out on just 1 pitch.
Great play by Zach Nagy as he was in the right place at the right time and also showed a bit of that range as he's able to slide over to his right and had plenty of time to react and allow that ball to scream into his glove.
Great defensive play for the Oaks' regular shortstop, and now Cam Andrews, the catcher. Cannon King, the DH, comes up. Andrews is on deck. First pitch chopped right side foul past Aguilera's glove into the outfield side.
Well, Cannon King, we saw him go deep against the Oaks far earlier in the season. Hit a 2-run home run, and it was a back-and-forth affair that these two teams played in, and the Oaks ended up winning that game 10-9 on June 21st.
0-1, inside and low on an off-speed pitch. Slider from Lavelis that time, and the count's 1-1.
He served as the designated hitter last Sunday against the Oaks.
King on a 4-game hitting streak. He's got 5 homers, tied for first in the CCL. The 1-1, swung on and missed. Levelis gets him to wave at a pitch that was just low. Now King jumps back in the box. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Outfield straight away and playing at moderate depth. The pitch. Just outside. Levelis can't quite find the zone, and the count's 2-2.
Yeah, that wasn't a far miss by any means, but just sailed a bit off the plate. King able to work an even 2-2 count.
5th pitch of the at-bat coming. Levelis winds and fires. Off-speed drilled into center. Latshaw chases it back. He's running out of space. It is gone! Cannon King takes the CCL lead with his 6th home run of the season, giving the Saints the early 1-0 advantage.
What a great swing by Cannon King. That ball definitely hung a bit. That was a changeup from Levelis, and that just kept on carrying. It wasn't necessarily undoubtedly gone when it left the bat, but with very little wind in the air, it just kept going. Hit off that protective screen, and Latshaw kept going back to the track, and once you saw him look up and turn his head, you knew it was gone.
So King is in sole possession of the CCL lead with 6 home runs. First pitch to Andrews is high and in on a fastball for a ball.
And if you're the Saints, you definitely want to strike first, and that's certainly quite a spark to go out in front first on.
Second time King has homered against the Oaks as that pitch is driven into right center. Also well hit from Andrews. Antwine tracks its 1 hop and goes off the top of the wall. Andrews heads into second. The throw's cut off by Ramirez. That's a stand-up double for the catcher.
Excellent piece of hitting from Andrews. That ball was hit very well and driven into the gap. It didn't quite carry as much as King's home run, but it found the wall, and Andrews in scoring position. The Saints in a great position for an opportunity to get some insurance.
Dylan Immel's now up with 1 out and 1 on in a 1-run lead. Immel this season is hitting .288, 7 RBIs, and batted .370 at Wagner last year. Pitch from Levelis. Fastball high and away for ball 1. So plenty of power in these Saints bats and plenty of possibility to hit it out here at Arroyo Seco, with the center field fence being .364. Left field is .374, and in right it's .345. So an interesting dimensions in this ballpark. Kicking the 1-0. Fastball strike on the outside corner to the lefty Immel.
Dylan Immel, a batter, certainly more than capable of coming through to get some insurance for the Saints. Andrews with a rather short lead at second.
1-1. Taken for a strike at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Levelis able to drop some well-located off-speeds right in there on the corner.
Andrews off second. Immel at the plate with just 1 out. Single could theoretically make it a 2-run lead for the Saints. The pitch. Runner goes. It's fouled off left side into the net and caught by the on-deck hitter, Owen Mangini.
Well, you've seen the consequences if you're Levelis of leaving a ball up a little bit too much. Just about any of these Saints hitters can take you deep.
1-2 with 1 out. Levelis gets ready at the belt. He looks at second. Winds and delivers. Swinging a drive into left. Diving, leaping catch made by Nagy. He throws to second, and that's a double play. So Nagy had to slide for the first one. He leapt for the second one, made the play, and picked off the runner. Responsible for all 3 outs this inning. And the Saints lead 1-0 after 2. We'll take you back. You're listening to Oaks Baseball on YouTube. Stay tuned. Top of the third, the Oaks trail by 1 to the Saints. Thomas Peck is back on the mound, and he has some run support after the Saints got a solo home run from Cannon King in the bottom of the second. So far, the Oaks have not managed to get a hit. They've had just 2 walks. And second baseman Matthew Ramirez will lead things off in the third in his first start in an Oaks uniform this season.
Yeah, Peck may have 1 run worth of support behind him, but the Saints did also run themselves out of the inning in the end. It was a strong finish by the Oaks after the home run, the bump in the road, but the line drive that Emil hit, and I'll be honest with you, I thought that was going to be a base hit too, and I'm sure Andrews thought it was a hit off the bat. It was certainly a decent range that Nagy had to cover to catch that line drive, and you got to give him credit. He's been shining there, and that glove has been like a magnet of his. But, yeah, he's able to make that catch, and Andrews was just way too far off the bag at that point.
Yeah, perhaps the best fielding game we've seen from Zach Nagy this season. A sliding catch to get the first out and a double play off a leaping catch to get the second and third. It's Ramirez first and then Contreras at the top of the order, and then the aforementioned Zach Nagy. Ramirez this season is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. He's also been hit by a pitch, which was last night against the Barons in a pinch hit appearance. But this is his first start. Ramirez, a recent addition to the Oaks. Played the last 2 seasons at Ventura College, batted .307 this past year, and now is headed to Kansas Wesleyan University. Peck's first pitch. Taken for a strike at the knees, down the middle.
Great command there from Thomas Peck. And if he can just be consistent for the Saints, he's got a run support behind him. Saints are going to be in good shape.
0-1. Just low on the off-speed from Peck. 1-1 count to Ramirez. Native of Moore Park, California. Of course, playing at Ventura College over the past 2 seasons, familiar with Oaks head coach David Solis, who also coaches the Pirates. Ventura, that is, and that is flied into center, chased and caught by Cheer on a line drive for the first out.
Pretty good piece of hitting there by Ramirez, but certainly well tracked by Brody Shear out there in left center field.
Top of the order now, Brandon Contreras comes up. Contreras almost launched a home run to right his first time. He had a foul ball that may have been home run distance and then flied one all the way out to the wall where Evan Reiter made the catch shortly after.
We have not seen him go deep this season, but that certainly shows that he is capable of it.
2 home runs in this past season for him at Ventura College. The pitch, just outside. Peck can't find the zone, and it's 1-0.
And the journey for Contreras has been remarkable. Overcoming his injury where he didn't think he was going to be playing, and now he's committed to Bakersfield.
1-0, swing and a miss for a strike. Yeah, making the jump from Ventura over the past 2 seasons to Division I baseball, certainly an exciting accomplishment for Contreras, who heads into his redshirt junior season at Cal State Bakersfield this next spring. 1-1. Peck to Contreras. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball in the dirt.
Yeah, Peck got Contreras to chase one there. But yeah, the jump from Ventura College, from junior college to Division I, certainly a testament to his hard work and his talent and also his character.
1-2 pitch. Swung on, chopped into the plate. It goes behind Andrews, rolls toward the on-deck hitter Nagy. So 1 ball and 2 strikes still with 1 out in the inning. Contreras gets back in the box. Outfield straight away and relatively deep. Infield straight away as well. Here's the 1-2. Fastball up high above the letters. It's a 2-2 count to Contreras.
Contreras has been able to work the count pretty well against Peck.
Peck waits for a while before this 2-2 pitch. He kicks and comes home. Swinging a liner, right side, through the hole for a base hit. Between the second baseman Immel and the first baseman Mangini, Brandon Contreras has his first hit of the day and the first hit for the Oaks as a team.
Yeah, let's see if he can provide a spark right here as that ball was driven pretty well. It wasn't exactly the hardest hit ball. It was right in the gap between Immel and Mangini, but he is on with 1 out.
5-game hitting streak now for Contreras, and Zach Nagy comes up. Contreras has 9 stolen bases this season. Here's the pitch to Nagy. Called strike on the inside corner, 0-1 count. Nagy went 0 for 2 with 2 walks against the Barons yesterday. He made 2 great plays in the field in the bottom of the second to record all 3 outs, or at least help in doing so. The 0-1 swung on and fly deep into left center. Panarisi runs after it. It could be in the gap. Diving attempt. It is caught! What a play by Panarisi. He throws it into second. Contreras is back to first. But another defensive masterpiece, this time for the Saints.
Boy, what a catch by Panarisi. He laid out fully for that one and able to catch it on his left side. And, you know, he caught that right in the left center field gap. For the left fielder, that's an easier play for a right-handed thrower, because if you're a left-handed thrower, you'd have to catch it across your body. But for the right-handed thrower, the glove is right there.
So 2 outs and a runner on first. Tyson Reese comes up. Reese walked back in the first, his first time up. Peck nods and throws. Fastball up and away for ball 1. So we've seen some hard hit balls today, but also some good plays in the field to keep this game where it is at 1-0. One 0 count with 2 outs. Contreras with a medium-sized lead. The pitch. Called strike on the outside corner, 1-1. A changeup from Peck. So Reese stands in wearing number 29 today instead of his usual number 5. Yokes in their powder blue uniforms. The 1-1. Swung on and hammered deep to right field. Ryder has a play and he catches it on the warning track. That sounded great off the bat, but it's just short of getting out of the yard. The Saints hold the Oaks scoreless. After 2.5, it's a 1-0 Saints lead. You're listening to Oaks Baseball on YouTube. After 2.5 innings, the Saints lead 1-0, and they get to bat here in the bottom of the third. Johnny Lavelis is warming up for his 3rd inning of work. He allowed a home run and a double last inning. Thankfully for him, the double came after the home run, meaning he's let up just 1 run on 2 hits so far.
Yeah, Lavelis has been great overall. That home run, you know, simply a hiccup for him and the Oaks. He was able to rebound greatly with the support of his defense after he allowed the double to Andrews. Dylan Immel able to line it into the glove of Zach Nagy, and I was about to say right into the glove, but Nagy had to range a bit to his right and even had to raise his glove a bit, and I think Andrews was just totally fooled by it and couldn't get back to second.
2 great catches from Nagy, the line out to get the first out of the inning, and then the one that got Andrews doubled off at second on the liner from Dylan Immel. First pitch, swung on and popped up from Owen Mangini, right side of the infield and foul. Chased down by the catcher Voiles, and he can't quite find it. Lost it in the sun, and it lands next to him.
Well, not an error statistically there, but that is one that the Saints could very well capitalize on. They could punish the Oaks for that mistake.
0-1 count. Nobody out in the inning. Lavelis throws. Fastball strike right down the middle, 0-2.
Certainly keeps this at bat going at least.
A pause, now the kick and the pitch. Swung on, fouled off to the right over the fence and out of play. So Mangini comes into this game coming off a 2-for-3 day against the Bombers yesterday, batting .217 on the season. 0-2. Swinging a drive into right, pretty well hit. Antwine runs back near the track, reaches and makes the catch for the first out.
Nice little over-the-shoulder catch by Antwine as he pedals back to the track. And he's able to haul in the first out.
Now Brody Cheer comes to the plate. Cheer's batting .320 on the season in 7 games played, a mid-season addition for this team, and he's on a 4-game hitting streak. Trying to get some reps before heading to Nebraska next spring. 1 out, nobody on the first pitch. Swung on, hammered into left, chased by Contreras, and he has a play, makes the catch for the second out.
Good range there by Contreras. He's able to track it simply by charging in on it. Didn't have to maneuver a whole lot.
But another hard-hit ball in this game, and the shortstop Braden Flores is now up. Flores grounded out to begin the Saints lineup tour in the bottom of the first. Entered today batting .315 with 2 homers and 26 RBIs. Lovelis' pitch to the lefty. It's a strike on an off-speed pitch down the middle. 0-1.
And it was big for Lovelis to be able to keep Flores off the base paths in the first inning. We know what he can do on the bases as well as at the plate.
0-1 fouled off to the left. He has 7 stolen bases this season for Flores. Outfield playing at a moderate depth and straight away. Infield back, the exception of the third baseman Whitco, who is between the infield and outfield grass, approximately equal distances. The 0-2, just outside. Lovelis can't quite hit the zone on that one, and it's 1-2.
Flores also not too shabby of a power hitter, has 2 home runs on the season.
The Saints already have a home run last inning from Cannon King, his league-leading 6th this season. 1-2. Cold strike 3, a fastball at the knees, rings up Flores, and that is the first strikeout for Johnny Lovelis. No runs, no hits, and nobody left. After 3, the Saints still lead by 1. You're listening to Oaks Baseball on YouTube. Stay tuned. It's the top of the 4th at Jackie Robinson Field, and the Saints lead the Oaks 1-0. The Saints' lone run came in the bottom of the 2nd when Cannon King blasted a solo shot. The Saints also had a double in that inning, but Cam Andrews was picked off of second after a sharp line drive from Dylan Immel was caught by Zach Nagy. For the Oaks on offense, there's just been 1 hit so far off Thomas Peck, who's still pitching in the 4th inning.
Yeah, Peck has been throwing exceptionally well. Allowed the 1 single to Brandon Contreras. He's been able to get the Oaks to hit the ball to his fielders. His defense has really been supporting him tremendously. And he's gotten a great deal of support from his offense with the home run by Cannon King.
It's great to have you listening on this Sunday afternoon alongside Sammy Fawn. I am Calvin Kaplan. Hot but nice weather in Pasadena, just below 90 degrees. And the sun is out, not a cloud in the sky, with green trees in the background and mountains overlooking this field as well. First pitch is taken for a strike at the knees by Danny Aguilera, who walked back in the 1st inning.
Aguilera, he's been one of 3 base runners for the Oaks. He walked right after Reese walked in the first inning.
Now been on base in 10 in a row as he takes a pitch just inside. Fastball, 1 ball and 1 strike. 11 in a row, pardon me. 1-1 count, nobody out. Peck looks in. He winds and delivers. Aguilera went around, tried to check his swing on the slider, but couldn't do it, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, he was fooled by that slider that just sunk right down.
1-2 count with nobody out. Outfield straight away and relatively shallow. Pitch to Aguilera. Skips in the dirt well before the plate, and it's a 2-2 count. After Aguilera, Matthew Whitco will come up. Then it will be Aiden Voiles. 2-2 with nobody out. Here's the pitch. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. Aguilera knew it. He froze, and that's the 3rd strikeout for Peck.
Froze him right on the inside corner with that fastball. Aguilera buckled there.
Now Matthew Whitco's coming up, and Whitco grounded out to the second baseman Immel to end the first inning. He steps in. Had his 3-game hitting streak snapped yesterday, 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. First pitch in the dirt. Taken inside as well by Whitco for ball 1.
Peck will certainly want to be rather careful when dealing to Whitco here, as they saw what he can do last week.
1-0, just low on a fastball down the middle. Yeah, they did indeed see that. A week from today, last week, Matthew Whitco had a grand slam in the 8th inning that put the Oaks up 5-4 against the Saints to eventually help the Oaks win 8-4 at this same field. 2-0, swung on and belted left side foul, headed toward the light pole, and it lands to the right of it and past it out of play, 2-1. Whitco, the lefty, stands in against the right-hander Peck. 2-1 count with 1 out in the inning. Outfield straightaway and at moderate depth. They'll wind in the pitch, swinging a high drive into center, but catchable for Cheer, who gets it easily. Another line out for the Oaks for the 2nd out of the inning.
Cheer was able to track that one very well. Keep Whitco off the base paths.
Aiden Voiles is now up, and Voiles grounded out to first to begin the 2nd inning. The Oaks have already flied out 6 times today. 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Peck steps onto the rubber. Voiles taps the plate. Righty-righty matchup as both get ready. Peck shakes off the sign. It's an inside target here from Andrews. He's now ready. His target shifts to the middle. Here's the pitch. Taken for a strike down the middle on a fastball. 0-1.
Voiles grounded out his first time up.
Looking for the Oaks' 2nd hit. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed on a fastball up at the letters. No balls and 2 strikes to Voiles. Peck shakes off another sign, and another, and another, and another, and smiles and sets. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. They'll say it's not a drop 3rd strike as Voiles was running to first. Peck gets him on the slider that he really wanted to throw. That's the 2nd strikeout of the inning. 1-2-3 for the Saints, and the Oaks will now come back in the field. 1-0 Saints. You're listening to Oaks Baseball on YouTube. It's the bottom of the fourth at Jackie Robinson Field in Pasadena, California. The Oaks trail 1-0 to the Saints, who are about to come to bat against Johnny Lavelis, who's still out there for his fourth inning. Lavelis threw 4 innings a week ago from today against the Saints and allowed 4 runs, including a home run. He allowed a solo home run in the second inning, but has been good other than that.
Yeah, he's really rebounded nicely as he was able to retire the Saints in order in the third with a strikeout. He has just 1 strikeout on the day, but he's no doubt ready to come back at these Saints hitters, and these Saints hitters better be ready to come at him.
It's great to have you listening on this Sunday afternoon, just past 5 o'clock in Pasadena. Sunny skies and mid-80s temperatures. And Evan Ryder, number 2 hitter for the Saints, is coming up first to begin the bottom of the fourth. Ryder flied out to center field back in the first inning. Lavelis' first pitch. It's a fastball on the outside corner at the knees for a strike.
Well, good location and pitch selection there from Johnny Lavelis as that one just tailed right onto the corner.
Righty-righty matchup. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Just high. Ryder lays off of the fastball, and it's 1-1. Lavelis looking to work a little quicker to start this inning. Here's the 1-1. Fastball inside this time. Backs up Ryder just a tad, and the count's 2-1. Lavelis gets ready. He rocks, kicks, and fires. Swinging a fly ball, well hit into right center field. Latshaw's trying to run it down. He looks at it, and it gets over the wall. Evan Ryder gets his second home run of the season and the second home run of the day for the Saints, who lead 2-0 in the bottom of the fourth.
Boy, it is a hot day, and the ball is traveling very smoothly. That ball launched off the bat into right center field. And another one that just kept on carrying, and you saw Latshaw keep going back, and the further back he went, the more promise that you had in your mind that it was going.
Next pitch of the next batter is taken outside on a fastball by Sean Asperger for ball 1. And that was a great shot from Ryder. 2-0 Saints. The pitch now is low and away. Another fastball, 2-0. This has been the theme today. The Saints have 3 hits, but they've all been for extra bases. There was a double from Cam Andrews back in the second. 2-0 count, nobody out. Righty-lefty matchup. The pitch to lefty is driven high into left center field. Latshaw sprints after it, so does Contreras. It's playable, and Contreras catches it near the track.
Neat launch angle off the bat of Sean Asperger. That ball just didn't carry as much as the home runs that we have seen today. And Contreras able to track it well into the gap.
1 out, and now Carson Panarisi gets ready. Panarisi lined out in the second. Lavelis kicks and delivers. Swinging a fly ball, well hit to right field down the line. Long sprint for Antoine. He slides and can't get it. It's just foul, though. 0-1.
Whew. Oaks catch a break right there. They almost caught a break in more ways than one.
Yeah, that could have been very much trouble. Perhaps at least a double, if not a triple, for Carson Panarisi.
That's also a ball where this is a completely hypothetical scenario, though. If it's a sac fly situation for the Saints and there's a runner on third, less than 2 outs, if you're Antoine, you may want to let that go in that situation.
Yeah, an interesting dilemma if you know it's going foul. 0-1 with nobody on at the moment. The fastball is up above the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike. Panarisi batting .253 entering today. He lined out to a sliding Zach Nagy to start the second. The pitch. Fastball down the middle for strike 2.
The ball has certainly been flying off the bat very well. And I said it before, any of these Saints can get it done and go the distance.
1-2. Swung on, popped up foul into the screen right side. Panarisi doesn't have a home run yet this season, but he has 7 RBIs. Hit a triple back on July 14th against the Academy Barons for his most recent extra base hit. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out in the inning. Cannon King is on deck, who hit the home run in the second. The kick and the pitch. Off speed taken inside. It was a changeup. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Panarisi.
Spark has certainly been there for the Saints, and they've been able to come alive against these Oaks.
2-2. Up high that time on Panarisi. And the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out and nobody on. Lovellis stands on the mound, ready for his full delivery. He rocks high, kicking the pitch. Swinging a fly ball foul right side. Headed toward the fence, it flies just over it. Just past the Oaks dugout, and the count's still 3-2. Panarisi taps the plate and gets set. 3-2. Swinging a pop-up over the screen right side, headed back behind us. Now the 8th pitch of the at-bat is coming to Panarisi.
He's putting up a very good battle here against Lovellis. And Lovellis certainly hanging in there in his 4th inning of work. And again, it's the 1st and 4th inning where the Saints do damage.
Full count pitch. Swinging a chopper. Shortstop side, picked up by the 3rd baseman, Whitco. He throws sidearm to first, gets it to Aguilera for the 2nd out.
Actually, I beg your pardon. It was the 2nd inning today where the Saints did their first bit of damage. And here in the 4th. And today they do it on what so far is 2 home runs.
Cannon King had 1 of those home runs, and he comes up now, seeking to replicate what he did in the 2nd. King now with 6 home runs to lead the CCL. He's in the box. Lovellis allowed a home run to Ryder earlier this inning. First pitch. Taken for a strike at the knees, 0-1.
Pretty good location there from Lovellis as he's able to kind of catch King on his knees.
Kicking the 0-1. Swung on chop first base side. 2 hops to Aguilera, who beats King to the bag easily for the 3rd out. So Lovellis issues a home run, but gets 3 straight outs afterward. After 4, it's 2-0 Saints. You're listening to Oaks Baseball on YouTube. Stay tuned. Top of the 5th, and the Saints lead the Oaks 2-0. Johnny Lovellis has pitched 4 innings of 2-run ball, but Thomas Peck has pitched 4 innings of shutout ball against the Oaks, and he's still pitching here in the 5th, getting ready to face the 7, 8, 9 hitters in the Oaks lineup, beginning with the right fielder, Tyler Antoine.
Yeah, and we saw Peck go 5 innings in his last outing and able to allow just 1 run to the Oaks in that last outing, and it could be a similar result here. Peck would even love to do one up from that and shut the Oaks down in 5 innings here, and you know, we'll see how long Peck ends up going. There's, you know, it's not totally impossible for him to go 6 innings, but we'll have to see on how he feels and how he holds up this inning.
He has not done that this season, but Joe O'Regan did in the Saints' last matchup against the Oaks. It was a 4-0 win for the Saints on July 16th at Jackie Robinson Field. First pitch to Antwine. Fastball strike to the righty at the knees, 0-1 count.
And that was huge. That was a game in particular where the Saints only had to use 2 pitchers, O'Regan and Oscar Salazar.
The 0-1 from Peck. Swung on and crushed into center. Playable for Cheer, who doesn't have to run much. He makes the catch just to his right for the first out.
Well, the Oaks are certainly getting the bat on the ball, and they're giving the ball a good ride out to the outfield. It's just a matter of hitting it where the Saints ain't. That's always the hardest part for any opposing team.
It hasn't really worked so far outside of a lone single from Brandon Contreras. James Latshaw's up, and Latshaw struck out looking to end the second. 1 out, nobody on. The pitch to Latshaw, taken low and away. An off-speed pitch for a ball. Latshaw steps back in, taps the plate, and gets set. Outfield and infield playing straight. The 1-0, fastball low and away this time. Latshaw's last appearance at the plate was against the Riptide when he went 0 for 4.
Yeah, the Oaks seem to rely on him a little more on the mound.
Last pitched against the Barons 2 nights ago. 2-0, hit high in the sky to left center. Cheer and Panarisi giving chase. This one's deep, and it's gone! James Latshaw gets his first home run of the season, and the Oaks cut their deficit in half. The third home run of the day makes it 2-1 Saints.
Boy, what a swing from Latshaw. He absolutely crushed that ball over the left center field fence. And it looks like the power has awakened from Latshaw. We've seen him make great contact and get some key hits this season, but that by far his most beautiful swing that we have seen, and he brings this game to within 1.
First pitch to Matthew Ramirez is a strike, and it's a home run party today. And for Latshaw, that's his first home run of his last season, but no home runs. That has changed now. Additionally, that's his first extra base hit in the CCL season, as there's a strike at the knees to Ramirez, 0-2.
Talk about multiple feats all at once. You can't say enough. He got a hold of that ball.
0-2 count. Peck throws to Ramirez, who swings and misses, pardon me, for the strikeout. That's the second out of the inning for the Saints.
Well, a great recovery from Thomas Peck after allowing a home run. Anytime you allow a home run, it's a blow at first to your gut, but it's what really tests pitchers in that situation is your ability to bounce back and just mentally recover. And that's the thing. Baseball, we say it over and over again, but it's a lot more mental than physical.
Now back to the top of the order, Brandon Contreras, who had a single in the third. Peck delivers, swinging a high fly ball into right center, but shallow. Cheer has a catch, and he makes it. That is a quick third out. So Contreras flies out, but Latshaw's home run cuts the lead in half. We go to the bottom of the fifth, 2-1 Saints. You're listening to Oaks Baseball on YouTube. Bottom of the fifth, and the Saints lead 2-1 after the Oaks got one back on the James Latshaw solo shot in the top of the inning. The Oaks have a new pitcher for the first time today. It's Seth Slagle replacing Johnny Lavelis, who threw 4 innings of 2-run ball, allowed 2 solo home runs and a double, but limited any hitting otherwise. Slagle is on the mound for the 5th time this season, and each of his last 2 appearances have been against the Saints on the road, where he's thrown a scoreless inning in each. Overall this season, 4 innings pitched and 5 runs allowed, all earned.
Yeah, we saw him pitch last Thursday right here, and he's been very consistent overall, and just an arm that the Oaks have relied on heavily, and he's not been an easy pitcher to face, especially for the Saints. And in this situation right here, the Oaks with a great deal of momentum with the home run from James Latshaw. We'll see how they can bounce on that.
Slagle will get Cam Andrews first, and Andrews hit a double to right. And this is the most home runs we've seen in an Oaks game this season. All 3 runs came as a result of solo home runs. It was Cannon King in the 2nd for the Saints, Evan Reiter in the 4th, and then James Latshaw in the 5th. Now Cam Andrews, catcher, comes to the plate.
Andrews doubled to the right center field gap his last time up. And not too long after that, he was doubled off on a line drive caught by Zach Nagy at short. Play where the ball was hit. I'm sure he would tell you he thought it was a base hit right off the bat, and he was almost halfway between 2nd and 3rd when Nagy caught it.
Slagle with a slow wind in the first pitch. Fastball just misses outside and low. The count's 1-0 to Andrews.
And I think that's what makes Slagle one of the more feared pitchers in this league, is his slow delivery, the anticipation and the suspense as a batter. It's killer.
Slow kick in the pitch. Swinging a chopper to third base. Whitco picks it up on the run, throws sidearm, and gets it to Aguilera to beat Andrews by a few steps.
Matthew Whitco able to range over to his left and cut that ball off from sneaking through the hole and throw a strike to Aguilera at first.
Here's Dylan Immel, who hit into that double play lineout that you mentioned, Sammy. Immel up for the 2nd time today, getting ready to face Slagle, who kicks and fires. Right down the middle, but just high for a ball. 1-0 count to Immel. About an hour and 6 minutes through this game here in Pasadena. 1-0. Swung on and flied into left. Relatively shallow for Contreras, who comes in and catches it for the 2nd out.
Slagle's been able to work quite efficiently in this inning, and that's something we've seen from him consistently.
Now Owen Mangini comes up to the plate. Mangini flied out to right field his first time up. Here's the wind from Slagle and the pitch. Low and away on an off speed. 1 ball and no strikes to Mangini.
Mangini flew out to right field his first time up. He's the first baseman today for the Saints.
1-0. Slow wind and the pitch. High for a ball. So 2-0 count to Mangini after Slagle got the first 2 batters to begin the bottom of the 5th. Pitch to Mangini. Swung on, ripped to right, base hit. Hard 1 hop to Antwine. Mangini gets to first with a 2-out single.
Beautiful stroke by Mangini at the plate. He's able to shoot that ball right out to right field and keep this inning going.
Brody Cheer, the number 9 hitter, is up. Cheer flied out to left his first time up. Outfield playing at moderate depth for Cheer, the center fielder today, who played at McLennan Community College in 2026, batted .333, and now is headed to Nebraska. Runner on first, 2 outs, the pitch. Swung on, chopped to short. Played by Nagy on 2 hops. He throws to second, get the force, stepped on the bag. Ramirez gets him barely. So a 3rd out there as Cheer grounds into an inning-ending fielder's choice. 1 run on 1, or no runs on 1 hit. 1 man left aboard. After 5, it's 2-1 Saints. You're listening to Oaks Baseball on YouTube. It's the top of the sixth at Jackie Robinson Field, and the Oaks trail 2-1 after getting a run last inning on a James Latshaw solo home run. Nonetheless, Thomas Peck is still in there. After throwing 5 innings against the Oaks a week ago, he's into his 6th today.
Yeah, Thomas Peck is going the distance, looking to reach a new innings high in innings pitched.
He gets ready for Zach Nagy. First pitch to the righty. There's a called strike at the knees on the outside corner. 0-1 to Nagy, who has flied out twice, once to center field and once to left. The latter of which came on a nice diving play from Carson Panarisi. 0-1, low on an off-speed pitch from Peck, who's now up to 66 pitches on the day. He pitched 5 innings a week ago from today against the Oaks, and in that outing allowed 5 hits and 1 run. Today he's allowed 2 hits and 1 run. The 1-1 swung on, smoked up the middle, base hit from Zach Nagy. Make that 3 hits allowed by Thomas Peck today, and the Oaks have a leadoff base runner.
Fine stroke by Zach Nagy. Looked like a slider that was almost tailing away, and he's able to extend the bat out and rip it right out to center field.
Zach Nagy has had great approaches at the plate all season long. Now has reached base in 3 consecutive games as of that hit. Tyson Reese, the lefty, is up against the righty Peck. First pitch, fastball high and away for ball 1. Reese walked in the first and flew out to right in the third. Danny Aguilera stands on deck, who's also 0 for 1 with a walk. Runner on first, nobody out. The 1-0. Fastball low, gets away, allows Nagy to go to second, throws in, tag is a little bit late from the shortstop Flores. Zach Nagy takes his base, his 8th stolen base on the season, and he's in scoring position.
Now the Oaks are a single away from tying this game. A single to the outfield, well placed that is.
Now Camden Andrews comes out to talk to Thomas Peck after that last pitch. It's a 2-0 count, and Peck didn't locate that one particularly well. It was in the dirt, blocked by Andrews, who ran to his left. And it is actually scored a wild pitch for that reason, allowing Nagy to get to second, but not giving him his 8th stolen base. Two-0 count, nobody out, top of the 6th in a 2-1 game. Reese steps back in with Nagy in scoring position. This is a home run friendly ballpark, and Tyson Reese has 4 of them this season, and we've seen 3 home runs today, all solo shots. Long pause in the 2-0. Called strike on the outside corner to the lefty at the knees on a fastball, 2-1.
Reese in a comfortable spot with the count. Seen his power and his contact approach. Peck has to be careful here.
A pull hitter who likes to drive them to right field. Here's the 2-1. Swinging a high drive to right field, chased by Ryder, who's near the track. He's on the track, and he makes the catch. Nagy tags and heads for third. He gets there, and that is the second time today that we thought Tyson Reese may have had a home run. Instead, it falls just short.
And he's been ripping the ball well out there, but luck is just not on his side. As far as the chances of that wall getting over the wall, it hung up a bit in the sky, and Ryder was able to stop on the track.
1 out, and Danny Aguilera steps in. Aguilera has been on base in 11 games in a row now as of his walk in the first inning. Nobody on first or second. First pitch is low and in for a ball as Nagy's over at third in a sac fly situation with 1 out. A sac fly could tie the game.
Certainly a tough hitter to evade that for Peck.
The wind and the 1-0. Swung on and driven into center, well hit. Cheer has a play, he runs in on it, and he makes the catch. Nagy sprints for home, the throw comes in, it's a little bit right and late. Zach Nagy scores on the sacrifice fly, and the Oaks tie the game at 2.
Job well done by Aguilera, able to drive that ball deep enough to right center field, and pretty good catch. That wasn't exactly an easy play for Brody Cheer, as he kind of made a shoestring catch there, and His momentum brought him forward, but Nagy with great speed and the throw a little bit off the mark. Nagy beat it anyway, and the Oaks have evened the score.
First run scoring not on a home run today, and now Matthew Whitco comes up with nobody on and 2 outs. Whitco grounded out to end the first and flied out in the fourth. He had a grand slam at this field a week from today. Dead center field in the 8th to give the Oaks a 5-4 lead. The pitch. Fastball just outside for ball 1.
And in the last couple of innings, the Oaks have been chipping away at Thomas Peck, showing he is vulnerable.
Peck in his 6th inning of work. Here's the 1-0. Called strike at the belt on the inside corner to Whitco.
And I would say the odds are this would likely be Peck's last inning on the mound.
Yeah, up to 75 pitches in his longest outing this season. The 1-1. Fastball low, blocked by Andrews. It's a 2-1 count. Aiden Voiles is on deck. Whitco stands in, the lefty against the righty Peck. Peck winds and delivers. Driven into left. High fly ball. Panarisi goes back and makes the catch. So 3 fly ball outs, but one of them was a sac fly. The Oaks tie the game and will take you into the bottom of the 6th, all square at 2. It's the bottom of the 6th at Jackie Robinson Field. The Oaks and the Saints are tied at 2, and the Oaks have their 3rd different pitcher warming up to enter the game. It's Derek Turner coming in, who last pitched in a start on July 16th against the Saints on the road. He threw 5 innings, allowed 9 hits and 4 runs, and went 85 pitches in that outing. On just 2 days of rest, he's pitching today, likely his bullpen day, meaning that he's throwing on his bullpen day for the 3rd time this season. He did so last week on Sunday against the Saints, and also on June 27th against the Riptide. We can expect just 1 inning from Turner today.
Yeah, when you've pitched more than once in a week, you just really got to keep an eye on that arm and just be aware of the timing of the game as well as when you come in, and just think, okay, how much work do I really need from this pitcher? And if you're the pitcher, you think, okay, how much work, how much can I do for the team?
And with the Oaks being somewhat short on pitchers, Derek Turner has been willing and able to step up to give bonus innings even outside of his starts. Certainly an admirable quality from him. He comes in to face the top of the order, starting with Braden Flores. This is his 2nd relief appearance. One of his bullpen days was technically a start. The pitch swung on and chopped into the plate, but it's fair. Flores runs after it. Now it's foul as Voiles touches it just past the line. 0-1.
Yeah, that was one where Flores probably never even meant to swing, and he check swing committed just enough to get a piece of that ball off the top of the handle, and it stayed fair for a little bit and then rolled foul.
0-1 count to Flores, who grounded out in the 1st and struck out looking in the 3rd. Turner with a long wait. Here's the kick and the pitch. Fastball tipped into the backstop. No balls and 2 strikes. And one thing you can say about Derek Turner, he attacks the zone and really likes to get strikeouts early on in the innings that he does pitch. 25 innings and 25 strikeouts for him this season. No balls and 2 strikes. The wind in the delivery. Swing and a miss. There's a 3-pitch strikeout. Flores was way too late on the fastball. That's the first out of the bottom of the 6th.
Boy, that one just tailed right away from Flores, and for the Oaks to be able to keep him off the base paths today, he's now 0 for 3. That's pretty significant. You think about having a lot of speed on the bases, and it's tough to realize right away how much damage that can do.
Well, speaking of damage, Evan Reiter's in the box coming off his home run in the 4th. First pitch, swung on, chopped to second, 4 hops to Ramirez, who goes to a knee, throws it high. Aguilera gets back down, and the runner's out just barely. They'll say he stepped on the bag for the second out. So the Oaks get Reiter, who is now in the midst of a 23-game hitting streak after his home run earlier today. A really successful batter goes down, and that's 2 quick outs in the inning for Derek Turner.
Yeah, Turner is working quite efficiently, and a little bit of a high throw there from Ramirez, but Aguilera, being as tall as he is there at first, was able to just stay on the bag.
Sean Asperger, the number 3 hitter, is at the plate. Lefty Asperger awaits Turner's first pitch. Turner kicks and delivers. Breaking ball at the knees for a strike from the right-hander. 0-1 count to Asperger, who faced Turner back on the 16th and had the opening run off his RBI double that drove in Braden Flores in that game. The Saints won 4-0. Pitch is a fastball at the knees for strike 2. 0-2 to Asperger. And in these bullpen days for Derek Turner, he has been really good. Has not allowed a hit, a walk, or a run in any of them yet. 0-2 pitch. Check swing. It's in the dirt. Appeal over to third. Third base umpire says no swing, and it's 1-2.
Tough pitch to hold up on there, but Asperger able to keep the setback going for at least one more pitch.
1-2 count with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. Turner will gear up to throw his 8th pitch, and he threw just 8 pitches in his bullpen day against the Saints a week ago. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. He rocks, kicks, and fires. Swinging a foul tip into the plate and off Foils, the catcher. Foils walks out to it as it ends up barely in the infield grass. And the count's still 1-2.
Asperger putting up a pretty good battle here against Derek Turner. And if the Saints can really make him work, he's already had to work quite a bit this week, having started last Thursday. And the Saints, they have experience off of him. They know what it's like to face him, and they were able to get to him last week, or earlier in this week.
Yeah, now Turner has faced the Saints 3 times in the past 8 days. Once on the bullpen day, once in the start on the 16th when he allowed 4 runs in 5 innings, and now today. 1-2 with 2 outs, the pitch. Swung on, ripped to right, and foul down the line past Aguilera by a few feet.
Good rip there from by Asperger. And he's able to keep the setback going.
Asperger's shown a lot of power, had a home run yesterday against the Bombers. Today he's 0 for 2 with a flyout. 1-2 from Turner. Swinging a chopper, right side foul, same spot past the first baseman Aguilera. So now he steps back in, taps the plate, outfield and infield playing straight away. Aguilera, the first baseman, shaded right down the line, less so for Whitco over at third. The kick in the 1-2. Just outside on the off speed. Asperger is making Derek Turner work. The 8th pitch of the at-bat is coming up.
The more pitches he sees, the more experience he has, and the better he's able to read the next pitch.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th and a 2-2 game. Here's the pitch. Swinging a chopper to second. Ramirez runs in, plays it on 2 hops, skips, and throws to Aguilera to get Asperger easily. So a strikeout and a couple of groundouts end Derek Turner's day most likely. After 6, it's tied at 2-2. The Saints will come up to bat soon in the bottom of the 7th, but first it's the Oaks after this. 6 innings have gone by at Jackie Robinson Field, and now it's time for the top of the 7th. The Saints are switching pitchers for the first time today. Thomas Peck comes out with the game tied at 2-2 after dealing 6 innings and allowing 3 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned. He also walked 2 and struck out 5. In his place, it's Sam Rickman making his 7th appearance this season. All of Rickman's appearances have come in relief, and he's thrown 12 innings so far this season.
Sam Rickman got the win a couple Saturdays ago. It was the game where the Saints were down 4-0 in the top of the 9th inning against the Oaks, and they came all the way back, scoring all 5 runs in their half of the 9th, the top half. The first of 2 upset victories for both what ended up being both of these teams. They upset each other on the road.
The Oaks now 3-2 against the Saints in the season series overall, including 2-1 on the road. Rickman with a 9.0 ERA and 14 strikeouts this season. First pitch to Aiden Voiles. It's a fastball just low for a ball. A righty-righty matchup here to begin the inning.
Voiles hitless so far with a ground out and a strikeout.
Rickman gets it to the belt. 1-0 count, middle target, here's the pitch. Swinging a high drive into left, chased by Panarisi, and he lets it drop for a base hit. Aiden Voiles drives one down the line and extends his hitting streak to 5.
Nice piece of hitting there from Voiles and a good knock. He's able to loop that one out to left and a little too far for Panarisi to make that catch.
That's the Oaks' 4th hit today, and now Tyler Antwine comes up. The righty Antwine steps in. So far, 0 for 2 today with a strikeout in the 2nd and a flyout in the 5th. The pitch, Antwine shows bunt, pulls it back, but it's a called strike, 0-1. Antwine steps in and taps the plate. Rickman nods, looks over at first, and sets. Voiles is extending his lead. No stolen bases for him. Throw comes over, and it's high. Voiles gets back in safely above Mangini. 0-1 count with nobody out and a runner on first. Peck nods. Rickman. He sets. Pitch to Antwine. Fastball called strike on the outside corner. An 0-2 count, and Antwine questioning that one a little bit. He's back in with the count at 0-2. Voiles extends his lead, still a relatively small lead over at first. Throw over, runners back safely. 2 runs apiece in this game in the top of the 7th. The Oaks had a home run from James Latshaw and a sac fly from Danny Aguilera. Home runs from Ryder and King gave the Saints their runs. 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed on a pitch in the dirt. Strike 3. It's the first strikeout for Rickman and the 15th of his on the year.
It's an important one right there with the Saints being able to keep Voiles at first and keep the double play in order. A double play would get them out of the inning, but Rickman has to deal with Latshaw, who went yard his last time up.
That was his first home run in a collegiate uniform. Spent 2026 at Golden West, but did not homer there. Latshaw also struck out looking in the 2nd, and his home run was back in the 5th. Voiles is at first, 1 out in the inning. First pitch from Rickman. Off speed, slider taken just high for ball 1.
You talk about getting going at the right time, though, as he was able to, at the time, split the lead in half. Crushed it over the left center field wall.
Long pause. The 1-0. Called strike at the knees on the outside corner. Fastball makes it 1-1.
If Rickman can keep the ball down in the zone and get Latshaw to get some wood on that ball, that could be big for the Saints if they can keep it on the ground.
Throw over, and Voiles gets back safely under the tag. 1-1 count with 1 out. Top of the 7th and a 2-2 game. Latshaw jumps back in and taps the plate and looks back out at Rickman, who comes to the belt. 1-1. Fastball low that time, 2 balls and a strike. Matthew Ramirez is on deck, who's 0 for 2 so far today. Still looking for his first hit as an Oak. 2-1. Tapped foul toward the Oaks dugout on the right side. It bounces off the net above it, and it's 2-2.
Latshaw is certainly putting up a big battle against Rickman here, and we'll see what becomes of it, and we'll see how much longer Latshaw can stall Rickman and how many pitches he can make him throw.
2-2 count currently with 1 out in the inning. Here's the pitch. Just low and away on a fastball, and the count is 3-2. Three balls and 2 strikes. 1 out, and Voiles on first. Rickman working slowly but deliberately here. Runner goes the pitch. Swing and a miss. Throw comes to second. Tags down late. Aiden Voiles has his first stolen base of the season, but Latshaw strikes out for the second out of the inning.
A big strikeout by Rickman, and also a big base potentially by Aiden Voiles that he was able to steal. We'll see if Ramirez can make that stolen base pay off with a single to the outfield. And Voiles at second is the go-ahead run.
Game tied at 2-2, and Andrews and Rickman had a brief meeting at the mound, between the mound and the plate, I should say. Ramirez flied out in the third and struck out in the fifth, and he steps in. It's a righty-righty matchup. 2 outs, runner on second. Voiles has his lead, and no one's covering. The kick and the pitch. Slider low and away for ball 1. Brandon Contreras is on deck. Contreras is 1 for 3 with a single and a couple of flyouts. And he's gotten some good hacks on the ball, even when getting out. 1-0 with 2 outs to the number 9 hitter. The pitch. Right down the middle for a strike on the fastball.
Ramirez flied out in the third inning. He struck out last time up. He has shown he can get good wood on the ball.
The Oaks scored 1 run in the 5th and 1 in the 6th. The Saints had 1 in the 2nd and 1 in the 4th. Rickman looks at second and brings the 1-1 high on a fastball at the letters. So 2 balls and a strike. Ramirez looks on as Rickman gets the set. Inside target, the 2-1. Swung on, driven high and to right. Ryder has a chance to get it, and he does get it for the end of the inning. So Voiles leads off with a single, but gets stranded on base after 6.5. It's tied at 2-2. 7th inning stretch coming up. The Saints will be up to bat after this. After 6.5 innings, the score remains tied at 2-2 between the Oaks and the Saints here at Jackie Robinson Field. The Oaks are bringing in their 4th pitcher of the day after Derek Turner's 1 inning in which he got a strikeout and 2 groundouts. Kyle Zahn comes in for the Oaks. Zahn has a 3.21 ERA this season, making his 8th relief appearance.
Yeah, Zahn has Pitched very well for the Oaks, has experience pitching at this ballpark in particularly as well. There was his first appearance against this team on June 21st, where the Saints gave him some two-out trouble when he had retired the first two in an inning and were able to rally and tie the game in that inning. And Zahn, who is coming off of his freshman year where he spent it at Cal Lutheran, coming into this summer, he now has a 3.21 ERA. He is 1-0 on the season.
The right-hander Zahn getting ready to face the cleanup man for the Saints, Carson Panarisi, who is also a right-hander. Zahn last pitched on July 16th against the Saints at this same ballpark. Through the final 2 innings for the Oaks in a game that they lost 4-0, and by that point, all 4 runs had been scored for the Saints. Zahn allowed 1 walk and 1 strikeout without allowing any further runs. First pitch, fastball just inside to Panarisi, who is 0 for 2 with a lineout and a groundout today.
He's been putting good wood on the ball today, though. Something the Oaks and the Saints have done all day.
1-0 from Zahn. Swung on and missed on a curveball. 1-1 count to Panarisi. And you mentioned the hard contact. A line drive to shortstop in the second inning was a big example of that. It was just a great catch by Zach Nagy. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Panarisi gets out a little early, and it's 1-2. Zahn shakes off a sign and now brings it to the belt. The kick in the 1-2. Swinging a high fly ball into moderate center field. Latchaw's trying to look at it. The right fielder, Antwine, goes to get it, and he makes the play for the first out.
Zahn able to get out number 1 efficiently as he continues to face this Saints lineup.
And now Cannon King comes up, and he launched a cannon of a home run back in the second, his 6th of the year, to take the CCL lead. Also grounded out in the 4th. The Saints' 2 runs both came on solo home runs. The other one was off the bat of Evan Ryder. Zahn gets ready, kicks and throws. Fastball low for ball 1. We've got fastball, curveball, changeup in the arsenal for Zahn.
Certainly some great variation, and the more pitches you have, of course, the less predictable you are.
1-0 count to the lefty King. The wind in the pitch. Swinging a foul tip straight into the backstop. 1-1 count. King steps back in. Outfield at moderate depth, infield playing straight away. 1-1. Checked by King on an off speed. It's 2 balls and a strike.
Certainly not a bad off-speed pitch there from Zahn. He almost got King to swing. He was able to check his swing.
Now the count's 2-1 with 1 out in the inning. Zahn deals. Fastball high and away. It's a 3-1 count to King. Cam Andrews is on deck, and Andrews had a double back in the second inning to follow the home run from King, but he was eventually doubled off on a sharp line drive. The 3-1. Fastball high and in for ball 4. Cannon King works a walk.
What a great at-bat there by Cannon King. He was very patient, able to work a count in his favor, and Zahn just couldn't come back to him.
That is the first walk today for the Saints. Now Cam Andrews comes up. Alongside his double in the second, he grounded out in the 5th. The Oaks lead the season series 3-2, and this is the final time that these 2 teams face off in the regular season. Tied 2-2 on the road here in the bottom of the 7th. Zahn against Andrews. Here's the first pitch. Fastball called strike at the knees for strike 1.
Andrews has 1 hit on the day, the double.
Runner on first. King takes his lead. He's got 3 stolen bases this year. 0-1. Swung on and popped up. Right side foul, skying toward the Oaks dugout. And it lands behind it in the bleachers. 0-2 with 1 out and a runner on first. Andrews is back in. Righty-righty matchup. Outfield straight away as well as the infield. Aguilera is covering first. King stays, the pitch. Swung on and looped right side foul way over the fence, past the bleachers and into the greenery.
Andrews kind of had to reach for that one. He's able to get a piece of it.
No balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. The Oaks scored one of their runs on a home run from James Latshaw and the other on a sacrifice fly from Danny Aguilera. 0-2. Fastball hit to short, could be 2. Nagy can't get it. He lets it go into left. Cannon King is sprinting for third. The throw comes into second, gets away from Ramirez to Aguilera. King rounds third and stops there. But Cam Andrews reaches on an error.
Oh, that error could be mighty costly for the Oaks. That ball just skipped right under the glove of Zach Nagy, and that's very uncharacteristic. He is not a guy we have seen make many errors, but that one just, the hop got to him, and it got past him, really, I should say. And now the Saints have runners at the corners, and if you're the Saints, you got to make the Oaks pay for that.
Dylan Immel is up, who's 0 for 2 with a lineout and a flyout today. King on third, Andrews on first. The pitch swung on and tipped foul into the top of the fence. It lands down behind the plate, 0-1.
A situation where the Oaks could have potentially been out of the inning with a double play, or at least gotten the lead runner at second. The ball was not hit particularly hard, but certainly double play caliber, but instead the Saints threatened big time.
0-1 with 1 out and 2 on. Long pause. Andrews goes. The pitch. Chopped over to short. It gets through past Whitco at third. Nagy was shading to cover second, and the hit and run works out. The Saints retake the lead. It's 3-2.
And also on that play, as Immel grounded that one through the left side, Whitco started moving to his right toward the third base bag, I think anticipating more that Immel, if he did go the opposite field, he would hit it closer to the third base bag, but it was hit more to Whitco's left, and as a result of that flinch, he basically denied himself of his reaction time to field that ball.
Big trouble for the Oaks. 2 on and 1 out, and Owen Mangini's up, who has a single today. Pitch checked on high above the zone on a fastball for ball 1.
The Saints have the lead.
Mangini also flied out in the third alongside his single in the fifth. They went down the right field line. 1-0. Swung on, tipped into the backstop. 1 ball and 1 strike. And to think the Oaks could have been out of the inning if that error had instead been a double play.
Or at least a fielder's choice, who knows. But yeah, certainly would have been huge either way.
1-1 count with 1 out and 2 on. Andrews is at second, Immel is at first. 3-2 Saints lead. Zahn gets ready at the belt. Runner goes, the 1-1. Gets inside, dropped by Voiles. Both runners go, and it's a stolen base apiece for Andrews and Immel.
Huge base running advancement, double base running advancement, really, on the double steal. And now you've got Andrews at third and Immel at second. A sac fly can easily score an insurance run.
2-1 count with 1 out to Mangini. No double play force anymore. The pitch taken for strike 2 down the middle. Great pitch from Zahn on the changeup. Two count, 1 out. 3-2 Saints lead, and they have 2 runners in scoring position. Zahn is at the belt. High kick in the pitch. Swing and a foul tip into the mid of Voiles for strike 3. What a big second out.
Boy, that sure is huge. That changeup thrown by Zahn really tied him up.
Now it's Brody Cheer, the number 9 hitter. No more sac fly possibility, but one single could drive in 2 runs. Cheer flied out in the 3rd to left field and hit into a fielder's choice in the 5th, also to the left side. 2 on, 2 out. Zahn's pitch. Just outside on a fastball for ball 1. Cheer on a 4-game hitting streak entering today, trying to keep that alive. Andrews at 3rd, Immel at 2nd. The pitch. Swung on, hammered, into left center field. Latch on Contreras. Chase Contreras leaps and can't quite catch it. What an effort, though. 2-run score. Cheer's running for 3rd. Contreras throws it in. Throw comes to 3rd. Tags in. And the runner's safe. Cheer didn't slide, and it almost cost him. But it's still a 2-run triple, and the Saints lead by 3.
What a huge hit from Brody Cheer to give the Saints 2 insurance runs. And on the flip side, if you're Cheer going into 3rd, you gotta, for one, slide, but also you gotta keep hustling. That throw was coming into the cutoff, man. I thought the Oaks might have had him there.
Yeah, it honestly looked really close. It's hard to say. Cheer is at 3rd with 2 outs, and Braden Flores is up. Saints have their largest lead of the day. The pitch from Zahn. Fastball low for ball 1. And the error really sparked it all, but since then, Kyle Zahn has still been battling, trying to get out of this inning. 1-0 with 2 outs and a runner on 3rd. Zahn against the lefty Flores. The pitch. Swung on and flown into left, and pretty deep but playable for Contreras, who backs up and makes the play. So a fly out ends the inning, but the Saints score 3. After 7, Arroyo Seco leads 5-2. You're watching Oaks Baseball on YouTube. Stay tuned. Top of the 8th at Jackie Robinson Field, and the Saints have just taken a 3-run lead after scoring 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th. Sam Rickman is back out there for his 2nd inning. He allowed a single to Aiden Voiles in the 7th, but then struck out 2 and got Matthew Ramirez to fly out to right field.
Yeah, he's been a tough pitcher for the Oaks to face this season. The Oaks saw him for the first time last weekend, the game where the Oaks got upset as the Saints had scored 5 in the top of the 9th inning, and he has certainly not been easy to face today.
Entered the game with a 9.0 ERA, and in that upset game against the Oaks, he pitched an inning and a 3rd and struck out 2, did not allow a hit or a run. That was his most recent appearance. He's looked good so far today, and he faces the top of the order, starting with Brandon Contreras, who's 1 for 3 with a single. The right-hander Rickman gets ready to face the lefty Contreras. Oaks down 5-2 here in the top of the 8th. First pitch, swung on, hit hard up the middle to the right side and just barely through past the reaching Immel. It's fielded by Cheer in center. Brandon Contreras has his 2nd hit of the day.
Fine piece of hitting. He found a hole right up the middle, kind of between Immel and the second base bag. And he's able to reach, and if you're Contreras, being as fast as he is, you know he probably thought about going to second, but just didn't have enough leeway, enough time there.
That is the 10th multi-hit day of the season now for Contreras. Zach Nagy ducks on a pitch. It gets to the backstop. Contreras heads to second. He takes a loop. He stops, but almost thought about going for third. That pitch was high and in on the right-hander Nagy, and it almost hit his helmet. David Solis is making the case that perhaps it did hit his helmet.
I thought I did hear it maybe clip off perhaps his jersey even, because I heard a very subtle noise well before that ball reached the backstop. And I don't think it was definitely not Andrews' glove.
Solis was pointing at his head, and now the umpires are meeting to discuss this, and it did seem like it clicked something, whether it was the helmet, the jersey, or otherwise.
And Contreras is at second either way.
If this is deemed a hit batter, it would put Nagy on first for Tyson Reese, who would be the game-tying run. This is a long discussion. We'll see what the umpires end up deciding. If anyone had a better angle, Nagy really had to duck quickly to get out of the way of the fastball from Rickman. And they're going to give him his base. The umpire taps his head, and Nagy walks over to first.
Yeah, Milam's now going to have a conversation with the home plate umpire, but I mean, just from here, I could hear it very subtly click off of something.
Yeah, it seems like the right call, and Aaron Milam is, of course, discussing how you can overturn what was decided, but that has happened before this season. If the umpires confer and deem that someone had a better look or they made an error in judgment, they can overturn a call on the field. Nagy's at first. Aaron Milam has given up, and he looks very frustrated, throwing up his hands and heading to the dugout. And now Tyson Reese, the left-hander, is stepping in. Reese is a big power threat with 4 home runs on the season. Today, he's 0 for 2 with a walk, but 2 deep fly balls to right field that almost cleared the yard. Contreras at second, Nagy at first. Nobody out in the inning. Rickman sets. He looks at second, winds and delivers home. First pitch fastball in the dirt, blocked by Andrews for ball 1.
Saints certainly in trouble right here. They're ahead by 3, but Tyson Reese represents the tying run, and Rickman's going to get a little visit. I'm feeling maybe to check the status on his wellness. I don't know if he did anything to himself there on that last pitch.
Yeah, the Saints pitching coach really ran far and quickly out to the mound. We'll see if they have anything notable to discuss or if it's just a typical meeting at the mound. Tyson Reese gets set back in as Rickman gets to stay in the game. Rickman paces around and hops back onto the mound with the count at 1-0. The Oaks could tie the game with 1 swing, 5-2 Saints. Rickman gets set against Reese. The kick and the pitch. Fastball low and away for ball 2. Danny Aguilera is on deck, and if Tyson Reese can reach base, Aguilera would be the go-ahead run. And nobody out in the inning. 2-0, 2 outs in the top of the 8th. Here's the set. Contreras off second, Nagy off first. The wind and the pitch. Right down the middle on a fastball for strike 1.
Got nobody out in this inning. Hit by pitch, another one of those hurdles that can rattle your confidence a bit, but Rickman, a pitcher who has shown he can deal strong. He's come clutch on the mound. We'll see how he bounces back here.
2-1. Swung on, flown foul left side over the bleachers and way out of play. 2-2 count. Rickman with back-to-back strikes to get even. Contreras at second, Nagy at first. Reese, the game-tying run, is at the plate in the top of the 8th. Rickman to the belt. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on a fastball at the knees for the first strikeout of the inning.
Boy, that's a huge strikeout for Rickman. He got that fastball down and in to Tyson Reese and got it to just tail away from him, and Reese went after it, and now the Saints are a double play away from sending them into the bottom of the 8th.
Now Danny Aguilera is up. Aguilera has a walk and a sacrifice fly today, sandwiching a strikeout looking in the 4th. Rickman is ready. Aguilera now the game-tying run. Here's the pitch. Swung on, driven to right, but foul. Headed toward the trees, 0-1.
Got Contreras and Nagy on the bases. Great speed for the Oaks.
Aguilera is back and ready. Long pause from Rickman. Here's the pitch. Check swing. It's a called strike. Aguilera's not happy about it on the inside corner. 0-2 count. And you mentioned the speed. Contreras with 9 stolen bases entering today, and Nagy has 7 entering today. 0-2 with 1 out. Rickman against Aguilera, a righty-righty matchup. Here's the set. Kicking the 0-2. High and in for a ball. Outfield playing straight away almost, as Cheer is to the right of the second base bag. To the left, pardon me, to his right. 1-2 to Aguilera with Whitco on deck. Set from Rickman. Inside target, the pitch. Swung on, popped up into the screen. Aguilera fights one off high and in.
Yeah, Danny Aguilera putting up a good battle here against Rickman. It's going to keep making him work, keep fighting to get his pitch.
It's been a fast game so far, 1 hour and 58 minutes in game time. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, and 2 on. 5-2, Saints lead. Rickman to Aguilera. Fastball gets away. Runners stay. Contreras had a huge jump and might have had third, but decides to be cautious, and the count's 2-2.
Advisable. It's tough when you think you have an opportunity to go, and either one of 2 scenarios, either you don't go and wonder if you would have made it, or you do go and you get thrown out. But I think Contreras made the wise decision there.
Yeah, I don't want to get the second out on the base paths. 2-2 with 1 out. Set from Rickman. Long pause. Kicking the 2-2. Swinging a drive into center, shallow. Cheer gets it. Second baseman Immel actually backs up and makes the catch for the second out.
2 big outs after a leadoff knock and a hit by pitch. And now more pressure riding on Whitco, although he came through big time last weekend against the Saints.
In a very similar spot. It was the 8th inning. Whitco had the bases loaded in that one, and he drove a grand slam to put the Oaks up by 1. Right now he's got 2 runners on, and with a home run could tie the game. 2 outs, Contreras at second, Nagy at first. Rickman trying to get out of the top of the 8th. He sets. The kick and the pitch. Breaking ball tails low, 1-0 to Whitco.
It was a grand slam in the 8th inning against Lincoln Lyons, who was on the mound at that time.
Whitco trying to get it started here. 0 for his last 8 at the plate. Rickman sets. 1-0. Swung on, fouled off into the fence. 1-1 count. Contreras at second, Nagy at first. It's a 5-2 Saints lead in the top of the 8th. 1-1 with 2 outs. The lefty, Whitco, stands in against the right-hander, Rickman. Rickman with another long wait. He winds and fires. Fastball low, blocked by Andrews again, and he chases it out to the right. It's a 2-1 count.
Rickman a little behind Whitco here, but he's got 2 outs. Certainly, less pressure, and you can get a ground ball even if it's toughly placed. You just need to get the out at first. You do have forces on all the bases, bar home.
With 2 outs, a long pause again. Here's the 2-1. Called strike 2 on the outside corner. Fastball evens the count. The lefty Whitco steps in against the right-hander Rickman. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and 2 on, with the Oaks down by 3. They don't want it to come down to the 9th. Rickman delivers. Fastball.
Whitco really making Rickman work. He's not going to make it easy for Rickman and the Saints to escape. And now on a 3-2 pitch with 2 outs, both runners will be going on this pitch.
Contreras at second, Nagy at first. 3-2 count, 2 outs in the top of the 8th. Rickman brings it to the belt against Whitco. Here's the payoff pitch. Swinging a high drive into center. Cheer has to run it. He gets it, and he makes the play. Matthew Whitco hit that one pretty well, but straight into the glove of the center fielder. After 7.5, the Saints still lead by 3. Saints back to bat after this. The Saints lead by 3 entering the bottom of the 8th. The Oaks could not get any runs in the top of the inning. And now Jaden Valdez comes in as the 5th different pitcher today for Conejo. He replaces Kyle Zahn, who threw an inning, allowed 2 hits and 3 runs. None of them were earned. 1 walk and 1 strikeout for Zahn as well. And Valdez comes in with a solid season so far, posting a 3.60 ERA. He gets Evan Ryder first.
Ryder responsible for one of the 2 home runs the Saints have.
First pitch, bunt shown, and it's bunted backwards by Ryder. 0-1 count against Valdez.
That's always a curveball when you see a guy who's already homered on the day show bunt, especially with nobody on, just to get on base.
Ryder had his home run back in the 4th, and yeah, certainly a surprise to see him bunting to start the at-bat. He swings away on 0-1 and misses for strike 2. Valdez last pitched against the Barons on Friday. Allowed 1 hit, no runs, and a walk, and struck out 2. Ryder also flied out in the 1st and grounded out in the 6th, sandwiching his home run. The 0-2. Swung on, slapped to short, and caught on the fly by Nagy for the first out.
Once again, Zach Nagy just very steady as he awaits that line drive, a screaming line drive that went right into his glove. We saw him have a defensive woe last inning with that error, led to a few runs, but he's able to haul that one in.
Now Valdez gets Asperger, the lefty. Righty-lefty match up the pitch. Swung on, popped up, foul. Headed toward the screen. Voiles tracks and runs out of space. It lands on top of the Saints broadcast tent.
The Saints staff very excited about that one, we can hear.
Yeah, they're celebrating being able to get it. I'm not sure who did. Don't see where the ball's being held. A number of them sitting in press row, you could call it, behind us. The 0-1. Swung on, tapped weakly first base side. Foul, tracked by Aguilera. They're talking about the free candy that you can get from foul balls at Ventura on the Saints broadcast.
That's interesting.
Can't do that here, unfortunately. Maybe home field advantage for Oaks fans. 0-2 from Valdez. There's a slider low for ball one. Pardon me, change up from Valdez. Still 1-2, though, with one out against Asperger.
He's hitless on the day so far.
Valdez at the belt. 1-2. Swung on, smack to right. Hard hit down the line, but foul. Just barely. The Oaks will need to hold the 1-2 with one out. Valdez delivers. Called strike three on a pitch that looked just barely on the outside corner low. It gets Asperger looking. He didn't like it, and that's the second out.
Great spot there from Jaden Valdez as he's able to record the first two outs here and work efficiently.
Carson Panarisi is up, looking for his first hit today. He's got a line out, a ground out, and a fly out. First pitch. Off-speed strike. That was the slider from Valdez, and it's 0-1. Panarisi had 2 hits yesterday against the Bombers in a 14-0 win for the Saints. The 0-1. Swung on, chopped weakly foul toward the Saints dugout. Caught on a dime by Jacob Freer, standing there. 0-2 count, and an efficient inning so far for Jaden Valdez. Valdez brings it to the belt. The 0-2. Swung on and missed. Valdez gets him on the slider, and back-to-back strikeouts to end the 8th. The Oaks need 3 to tie and 4 to go ahead in the 9th. We'll see if they can do it after this. You're listening to Oaks Baseball on YouTube. Top of the ninth, the Saints lead 5-2, and Dylan Huang is in a save situation for the Saints, looking for his second save on the year. Huang has made 7 appearances, 15 innings pitched, a .660 ERA, and struck out 11. But the Oaks got to him in the ninth when he pitched in them last.
Yeah, and the Oaks already had the lead at that point, so it's not like Huang blew a lead or anything, but it was a 3-run home run down the right field line by Tyson Reese that gave the Oaks 3 runs of insurance. They ended up winning that game 8-4 last Sunday against the Saints.
The Saints are looking to tie the season series at 3-3, including 2-2 on the road. Aiden Voiles starts the ninth, and he's singled back in the 7th. He's 1 for 3 today. Huang is an incoming freshman at Villanova, getting lots of reps this summer. The Oaks need 3 to tie and 4 to take the lead. Got to get some runs to keep this going. 5-2 game, the pitch to Voiles. Swung on, hammered, into left. Panarisi sprints after it. He won't get there. It's one hop and off the wall. Voiles has extra bases. He gets into second, and it's a great start. A swing on the first pitch to get a runner in scoring position.
Talk about striking a 9th inning spark down by 3 runs, and yeah, on the first pitch, Voiles absolutely shredded that ball out to left field. Beyond the reach of Panarisi, he's in scoring position. With one swing of the bat, Antwine could make this a 1-run game.
Antwine has 1 home run this season that came against the Bombers on July 8th. Voiles off second, nobody out. 5-2 game. Huang throws. Fastball high and in for ball 1 against Antwine. Antwine's 0 for 3 with a couple strikeouts and a flyout today. 1-0 count, Huang to the belt. Voiles has 2 hits today. Here's the pitch. Fastball high and in that time, 2-0. And if Antwine can reach base, it would bring up James Latshaw, the game-tying run, who already has a home run today. 2-0 set for Huang. Here's the pitch. Low on a fastball, and the count's 3-0. Antwine taps the plate and gets set. Voiles off second, a 3-0 count. Nobody out in the ninth. Huang fires right down the middle for a strike on the fastball.
Time for Huang to come back in this at-bat. A hitter's count here to Antwine. A walk would set up a ground ball double play scenario, but it would also bring the tying run to the plate, and Latshaw's already homered.
3-1. The windup and the pitch. Swung on and slammed into left. Cheer reaches, dives, and catches it. He got tripped up in center and almost didn't make the play, but that's a big first out for Arroyo Seco.
Cannot begin to describe how huge that catch was in left center field. He certainly got tripped up in that, and if that ball gets by him, then Voiles easily scores, and it's a 2-run game. And he is able to make that catch down to his knees, and Voiles, he was pretty well off the bag, so he had to just retreat.
James Latshaw is up, and Caden Stillwell's on deck to pinch hit for Matthew Ramirez. 1 out runner on second, the pitch. Swinging a drive into left, it's through for a base hit. Panarisi gets it, Voiles stops at third, but Panarisi fumbled it, now he throws into second. A wise decision to stop Voiles, but maybe in hindsight after Panarisi's bobble, they might have sent him.
Yeah, I think Voiles didn't realize right away that Panarisi had bobbled it. Possibly neither did Coach Solis. But either way, a wise decision for Voiles to hold at third. It's not like he's the tying run. Tying run is at the plate now with Matthew Ramirez. And how about another big hit for James Latshaw?
Caden Stillwell is pinch hitting as the game-tying run with runners on the corners and 1 out in the ninth. James Latshaw, as you said, now 2 hits on the day. Stillwell played yesterday against the Barons, went 1 for 5. The pitch. Fastball low and away for ball 1.
Saints are a double play away from winning this game.
But the Oaks could be 1 swing away from tying it. Stillwell with no home runs this season, though.
It's a long shot, but not impossible.
The 1-0. Fastball inside for ball 2.
It was a long shot for James Latshaw to get his first home run earlier, but look at him. He was able to launch it over the left center field fence.
2-0, 1 out, and 2 on. It's Voiles on third, Latshaw on first. Stillwell, pinch hitting for Ramirez, is at the plate. Huang delivers. Swinging a fly ball right side foul over the fence toward the bleachers. 2-1 count now on Stillwell. And really all he just needs to do is get a hit. Got to trust the top of the order with Brandon Contreras on deck. Contreras has got 2 hits today. 2-1 with 1 out.
Oaks have certainly given Huang plenty of trouble, as they did in his last appearance against the Oaks.
Last time the Oaks entered the 9th down 3, they forced a tie against the Foresters. The pitch, swinging a foul tip off of Andrews, 2-2. In that game, the Oaks had 4 in the 9th, allowed 1 in the bottom of the 9th, and then ended the game due to darkness. They've blown a 4-run lead in the 9th against the Saints, now trying to force the Saints to blow a 3-run lead. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. Huge at bat for Stillwell, who steps back in. Huang looks at first and brings it to the belt. Kicking the 2-2. Inside on a fastball for ball 3, and the count's full. A walk could bring the go-ahead run to the plate. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. Voiles at third, Latshaw at first. Huang throws, swinging a fly ball left side foul, but well hit into the trees.
Well, that's the type of swing that Stillwell has been displaying in this at-bat, and if he can get another swing like that, but this time keep it fair, Oaks would get at least 1 run.
7th pitch of the at-bat coming. 3-2 from Huang. Swinging a fly ball, well hit to left and foul. Long chase for Panarisi. He runs, and he runs out of room just over the fence.
And for him, maybe for the best that he ran out of room, because even if he does catch that ball, that's a pretty easy run with Voiles at third. Then again, he's not the tying run, but still, that would bring the Oaks 1 step closer.
What a long at-bat for Stillwell. 3 balls and 2 strikes again. Here's the pitch. Foul tipped toward the backstop. Caden Stillwell is just keeping it going.
Boy, Stillwell is definitely not making it easy for Huang and the Oaks. That's what they've done. They're going to keep making him work. Huang is having to climb Mount Everest just to get around Stillwell.
Contreras on deck. 2 on, 1 out. The 3-2. Flied left side, headed foul. Panarisi might have a play. He runs and he makes the catch. Runner Voiles tags. Throw comes to second instead. The Oaks score 1. So it is a sacrifice fly for Caden Stillwell, but now there are 2 outs in the inning and just a runner on first.
So in the end, Stillwell gets the job done after a tremendous at-bat, and he may have worked Huang to the end there. We'll see if anything comes from this mound visit. Looks like it's just a talk, but what a tremendous at-bat for Stillwell, and he got that ball plenty deep enough to bring home Voiles. And the tying run is still at the plate, but Voiles was able to score. Now you've just got Latshaw, the runner at first, but the batter Contreras, he could be a dangerous one to deal with, especially with the length of Stillwell's at-bat. Huang may have been able to get Stillwell out, but Stillwell also made him work quite a lot, so the Oaks have seen him plenty, and they may know what to expect at this point.
Left-hander Contreras with 2 hits today gets ready to face Huang. Contreras earlier in the season had a go-ahead 2-run single in a pinch hit appearance to beat the Saints 10-9 at this ballpark. Here's the pitch. Fastball just outside for ball 1. This time, the Oaks are down 5-3 with a runner on first. A home run could tie it, but otherwise, Contreras might just have to keep the line moving.
Zach Nagy waits on deck should it reach him.
Latshaw at first. Here's the 1-0. Called strike on the outside corner. froze up Contreras, 1-1. Zach Nagy is 1 for 3 and got hit by a pitch today. Huang from the stretch. Delivers the 1-1. Just outside. What a great take by Contreras for ball 2. Back in the box he goes. 2-1 with 2 outs and 1 on in a 2-run game. Huang takes a breath. Here's the pitch. High and away on a fastball, and it's 3-1.
Well, a walk could give Huang a lot of trouble here. Want to try to go right after Contreras and just end the game right here as the Saints sit 1 out away.
3 balls and a strike with 2 outs. Huang sets. Latshaw takes his lead. Here's the pitch. Swinging a chopper foul right side. Brought Contreras to a knee, and the count's full.
Now the Saints a strike away from their 2nd straight win and handing the Oaks their 2nd straight loss.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Latshaw can move on this pitch. Top of the 9th, 5-3, Saints lead. Huang to Contreras. Inside, ball 4. Brandon Contreras earns his time on base for the 3rd time today, and the go-ahead run steps to the plate. 2 outs and runners on 1st and 2nd. Here's Zach Nagy.
This is getting very, very interesting. Oaks are far from out of this one. Just a 2-run game, and a ball driven to the wall could tie this game, especially with Contreras at first.
Nagy singled back in the 6th and got hit by a pitch in the 8th. Huang brings it to the belt. Latshaw on 2nd, Contreras on 1st, and 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Swung on, hit. It's looped short to shortstop. Flores charges. He throws to first. Close play. Runners out by half a step. By thin margins. Dylan Huang gets the save, and the Oaks fall 5-3 to the Saints.
Boy, what a game it was here at Jackie Robinson Field. Both of these teams put on a great performance. Of course, you saw the Saints get going right away with 2 home runs from Cannon King and Evan Ryder. And then James Latshaw able to pick up his first home run of the season, crushing that ball out to left center field. And then you saw the Oaks tie it the next inning in the 6th. The sac fly by Danny Aguilera. Of course, the Arroyo Seco Saints had the big 3-run 7th. And then the Oaks, they absolutely made Huang work so hard to get through that inning. He definitely had to climb some mountains to put the Oaks away, as the Oaks were able to manufacture a run, but ultimately they fall short to the Saints.
The season series is tied between the Oaks and the Saints at 3-3. Saints move closer to getting a wild card spot, 3 games back of the Barons. Thank you for tuning in on this Sunday afternoon to this Oaks radio broadcast. Ideally, the final radio broadcast of the season. We expect no more technical difficulties anywhere else. Alongside Sammy Fawn, I am Calvin